The recently released Sekiro Shadows Die Twice has certainly been the talk of gaming media and a great deal of the gaming public, if not for the game's difficulty, but for the game itself as a work of art, for its environments and general aesthetic. The game's reception is generally positive, and such a reception tracks with games made by From Software. While the Souls series, including Demon Souls, received 4 mainline titles, Bloodborne only has 1 game to its name as of now. Considering how well received Sekiro is and the path of other prominent From Software IPs thus far, it is natural to speculate about the future of Sekiro. We'll accomplish this by evaluating the game's endings and then state what we think of how they might set up a sequel. Watch out for spoilers. In Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, there are 4 possible endings. They follow a rather clear gradient of bad to good and aren't at all equal in regards to how true they are. The truest ending is likely the best ending. The worst possible ending is the Shura ending. As you progress the game, Wolf will encounter the Owl, his mentor, and Owl will tell Wolf to forsake Lord Kuro, whom you are supposed to protect. If you oblige and betray Lord Kuro, you will then fight against Emma and Ishin Ashina. After Ishin Ashina is defeated, Owl, real name Akonzaimon Usui, begins to talk about conquering Japan, before he is stabbed by Wolf in the back, mustering not much more than shock before he passes, though he does realize that Wolf has become consumed by bloodlust and is now evil. Wolf has repaid Owl's betrayal to him years prior with this act. The epilogue statement following this shows that Wolf went on to start a massacre throughout Japan. The next ending is the Immortal Severance ending. It could be described as the most standard ending for the game, while the Shura ending is an abrupt conclusion. Owl, the villain that he is, must not be obeyed when he commands you to disown Kuro. After fighting and defeating him, you will eventually fight the dragon and acquire the dragon's tears. The final fight in the game includes a showdown against Genichiro Ashina and later Ishin, the Sword Saint. Once the fights are won, Kuro calls out for Wolf, lying on the ground. You must then go to Kuro and the game will prompt you to give the dragon tears to Kuro. This will end his immortality and then Kuro entreats Wolf to kill him. Kuro is from an immortal bloodline and has the power of resurrection in his blood, so naturally, he's a target in the world of the game who take note of such a power. When someone is resurrected, a non-immortal person who or a contract with someone with a bloodline are inflicted with dragon rot. The immortality is more like a curse upon the innocent. We can see this most readily with Wolf, who has a contract with Kuro, whom he protects. With this all in mind and respecting Kuro's wishes, Wolf obliges and kills Kuro, and we see in a later epilogue scene that Wolf has become the next sculptor as a former shinobi, and Emma presents Wolf with a prosthetic arm to bestow to a new shinobi who would visit Wolf later on in the future. This seems to suggest that a cycle of bloodshed and adventure similar to Wolf's own journey should repeat in the future, even though Kuro's request has been fulfilled. As for the sculptor that you met earlier in the game, he becomes a demon of hatred in an optional boss fight. Considering the sculptor's fate, it would seem that this ending may not bode well for Wolf's own future. Better than this is the Purification ending. Kuro's life is saved, but at the cost of Wolf's own life. After initially defeating Owl, the story along this path plays out such that Emma is seeking a way to cut Kuro's immortality without him dying. You will eventually unlock a new version of the memory at the Hirata estate, and with it, another fight against Owl. Completing this side quest will net you an Everblossom branch. This is an item that you take with you all the way up to the ending of the game, which plays out the same as you defeat the aforementioned bosses. However, after Kuro becomes mortal, Wolf kills himself as the last immortal person. It is revealed that while Emma had found a way to get rid of Kuro's immortality without sacrificing him, pursuing the end of all immortality wasn't possible without Wolf's sacrifice. The Everblossom branch is what is used to end Wolf's immortality. With the dragon tears used for Kuro and the Everblossom branch for Wolf, all immortality will never exist, and so the land will be rid of dragon rot, therefore giving a chance for a more prosperous future for all. The power of immortality will also not be coveted by those with corrupt ambitions. Kuro's immortal lineage is due to the Dragon of the Everblossom, a power brought from the West, which granted its power by lineage and bestowing it upon a chosen heir. And so Wolf has accepted this fate in this ending, hoping this choice allows Kuro to experience what it means to be human. An epilogue scene shows Emma paying respects to Wolf's grave, with the woman later joined by Kuro before he leaves Ashina. However, the Dragon of the Everblossom could still choose another target to bestow its power upon. Which leads us to the last ending, the best ending, the return ending. Much everything else prior to the last fight plays out the same. You're supposed to stay loyal to Kuro. However, what this ending is supposed to do is to effectively contain the dragon of the Everblossom. You accomplish a separate side quest, which nets you the frozen dragon tears. At the end of the game, once the last bosses are defeated, Wolf will use both sets of tears on Kuro, with the frozen tears binding the dragon to Kuro. Kuro's immortality is severed, and his soul is absorbed by the Child of Rejuvenation. The child sets out for the west, the origin of the Dragon of the Everblossom, and Wolf will accompany her with Kuro's essence within her. The journey to sever our ties with fate, as the child calls it, will be long, but Wolf is ready. And so these two immortals journey west. This closes out the return ending, the return to the origin of the dragon. The dragon's influence will be removed from Japan with their embarking. It is from the last ending that a sequel makes the most sense. The Shura ending sees mass slaughter and Wolf cannot be controlled. The Immortal Severance ending implies a cycle that yields no real purpose in replaying, even with different characters. The Purification ending doesn't set up a solution for the power of the dragon. But while the return ending doesn't spell out the full solution for ridding the power of the dragon itself, it more or less lays out the plan for a Sekiro 2, in which the child and Wolf set out west, seeking out the origin of the dragon. Meanwhile, it leaves the land at peace. But let us know your thoughts about the endings and the idea of a Sekiro 2. Do you think the game needs a sequel? Which ending is best used as a beginning for a sequel? Could it even be the Shura ending? As always, thanks for watching. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, you can always hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon next to it. That way you will never miss any of our videos.